Hi guys, Miss Moore here, getting ready to go over the SLO post-test review with you. I know most of you are probably upset about having to take an SLO post-test, but at least we didn't have to take the start of this year, right? So remember that we took an SLO pre-test at the beginning of the year, so now we have to take the post-test. I made this video to help you guys review it because we haven't really gone over these concepts. I think we did a little bit on Newton's laws in a previous week, and you guys did actually really well. During the year, you did really well on components of the universe. So it's just going to be a quick review of these three concepts before you take your SLO post-test this week. By the way, your SLO post-test for week 8 is going to be your only assignment for the week. So as long as you get that done by Friday, May 15th, we're going to be good. All right, so let's get this started. Today, our objectives are to review the SLO post-assessment concepts, which include competition, Newton's laws, and components of the universe using this PowerPoint. Your language objective is going to be to listen to me review these key concepts and strategies and really make sure we focus on the academic vocabulary, guys. That's going to really help out, and the little strategies, little tips that I'm going to give you on solving the questions that you're going to expect in your SLO post-test. All right, let's get started with competition. So if you remember, competition was just like a fight between organisms. We have an example here. We went over this one in class. This is a lion and a hyena, and they're probably fighting over territory, maybe food. Usually we're going to fight over things like resources that are in short supply. Think of when this whole pandemic started, we were fighting over toilet paper, if you recall, right? So the same thing happens in ecosystems every day. In this case right here, you've got lizards fighting for probably space, territory, light, right? And then over here, surprisingly, we've got these bighorn sheep, and what they're actually fighting over is a mate or a girlfriend. So this happens all the time. And we went over this in class. You guys did pretty good on it. So let's go through a couple of examples. Here's our first example. This is a dry environment. We've got zebras and wildebeest. And what do you guys think that they're going to fight over? More than likely, like, what would be your common sense answer? 1, 2, 3. If you guys said clean water, you're correct. Yeah, these guys are probably going to fight over clean water in a dry environment. Let's try a couple more examples. How about this one? We got a dense rainforest. You got not a lot of light coming through because you got tons of producers packed closely together. So what do you guys think they're going to fight over? 2, 3. If you said sunlight and soil nutrients, you are correct. If you recall, these are examples that we went over in class. So this should sound familiar to those of you that were paying attention. All right, last example. This is actually a tidal pool. So these are little pools that form when the tides come in and come out, when we have high tide and we have low tide, right? And there's a lot of rocks and stuff, a lot of space. So these are barnacles and sea stars. Here's our sea stars here, and then 2 different species of barnacles clinging to the rocks. So what do you think these species are probably competing for, fighting for? 1, 2, 3. If you said they're fighting for space, you are correct. Yeah. So this is what competition looks like. You know, this is what we go over as far as experiments and stuff. But on the STAR test, which are the questions that we're going to use for our SLO post test, they're not going to ask you that easy. That's the easy way out. They're going to ask you something like this. Here's that exact same species of barnacle clinging to these shores, right? We've got the Cathalmus species and the Balanus species. And this is kind of what you would expect on a competition question on your SLO, right? A graph. And if you're really good at reading graphs, you're going to do great because that's all you need to do. What this graph is representing is a classic competition experiment that took place in the 80s. All right, so they had these 2 species together, right? When they were together on the rocky shores, we noticed that the Cathalmus species, right, that's what this line is representing. When Balanus was there, right, when Balanus was chilling out with them, Cathalmus was able to grow for a couple of months, but then over time just started dying out. On the other hand, when they removed Balanus, right, we noticed that Cathalmus was able to thrive and prosper. So overall, this experiment showed that Cathalmus and Balanus were probably in competition for space. So when we removed these Balanus species, Cathalmus was able to thrive. All right.